Saints Row. Is it good? Yeah. In Saints Row you play the leader of an upcoming gang, the Saints. When you start the game you're given a very deep character customizer, where your only limits are your imagination. Unfortunately my imagination wasn't very good because I couldn't stop my character from looking either incredibly scary or female, which is not what I was looking for. Luckily there's lots of clothing options and I put on a mask the second I could. There's lots to do in Saints Row, from main missions to side missions, such as toxic waste, where you must drive a truck filled with toxic waste without crashing. As someone who loves truck games, I love this side hustle. There's also the return of some classics, like insurance fraud, which is always funny and ultra satisfying to play. The main story is fine, a bit basic, but where it excels is when it goes over the top. This game has some of the most unrealistic moments I've ever seen in entertainment, but that's okay because it was always funny and seemed to be laughing at itself. And this game is funny. Just like the previous games in the series, I laughed all the way through it. The arsenal is a little bit weak. Even by the end of the game, there's nothing amazing. And speaking of weapons, the controls in this game are horrible. It's very hard to aim where you want to, and for the most part, I just relied on aim assist by spamming L2, so the game would lock on to the nearest enemy. The map is nice and big and very diverse. However, it feels quite dead. There's no buildings for you to go into, apart from a few gun shops. Everywhere is just locked up. Casino, locked up. Even shops, like the clothing shops, where you go to buy clothes, their stalls are just outside the shop rather than going in. I found it very strange. The graphics are okay. You get a few options. I opted for 1440p with a frame rate priority. This made the graphics look quite nice, but the frame rate was always taking a hit. There is online co-op for you and one other player. However, I only tried this for a couple hours. I kept getting game-breaking bugs, and it really wasn't fun. There's plenty to do in this game, even once the game is finished. From hunting down wanted people, to taking over the city by purchasing properties, which will unlock more side hustles. The game has a decent soundtrack, and like the old games, some of the main missions have some amazing songs blasting in the background, and it really makes it feel great. But for the audio, the levels were completely off. From cars sounding too quiet to people just talking over the cars, guns being too quiet, all the audio just seemed really off throughout the whole game, no matter what setting I chose. I even had a lot of audio bugs where certain audios wouldn't play. Like in the final mission, I couldn't hear guns, music, or explosions, just the enemies talking. It was very strange. That was Saints Row, and I give it a 7 out of 10.